Hello, my friends. It's my last day in India, and I thought I'll share with you today some insights on the nature of the human body and its building blocks, and see if we can actually shift our understanding of the body from a material anatomical object to actually a form that is a function of the formless. Because the ultimate goal for all of us, I hope, should be a joyful, energetic body, loving, compassionate heart, clear mind, reflective, creative mind, and lightness of being. So let's examine the human body as it is understood anatomically. Because when I went to medical school, the first lesson is anatomy. The second lesson is physiology. So anatomy is what the body looks like as a material object, and physiology is how it functions. The building blocks of the body are similar to the building blocks of anything that we call matter. So atoms, we start with atoms. Or actually, we don't even start with atoms. We start with particles. No, we start not even with particles. Let's say we start with waves of possibility in the quantum field, for lack of a better word. Waves of possibility that have no location in space-time. And upon measurement, they become particles. The combination of particles becomes atoms of different kinds and minerals. The combination of atoms becomes molecules. The combination of molecules in our physical body becomes tissues. So there are actually many kinds of tissues: epithelial tissue, muscle tissue, nervous tissue, connective tissue. The various ways that tissues combine become organs like liver, heart, kidney, brain, hair follicles, genitalia, fingernails, everything, both the musculoskeletal system and the organs of the body, the hollow organs of the body. But at the basis of all this is what we call a single cell, which is in every tissue, in every organ, and in every bone, every muscle, every neural structure. There's a cell with a nucleus, which is genetic information, the history of our ancestors, and which is also modified epigenetically by experience in formless consciousness. So now that we have a clear understanding of this, everything in the body has a function. For example, the facial muscles express facial expressions, allow us to eat, masticate, etc., etc. The heart is pumping blood. The spleen is helping with immune regulation. The liver is removing toxins. The gallbladder is making bile. And all these organs and tissues and cells are working in a unified, integrated process. 640 muscles, 206 bones, 20 plus facial expressions, on and on. So that's now anatomy. And physiology says that anatomy of form follows function. So everything that we have, that we call the physical body, is use dependent. Use it or lose it. But now we have new understanding of neuroplasticity, which we understand how the brain is modulated by experience. So the brain is created by genes, which is the experience of your ancestors, and then molded and sculpted by how you choose experiences, how you choose experiences. In other words, your brain is plastic. It can be molded in any way through experience. And that requires genetic activation and epigenetic phenomena. Only 2% of your genes code for the proteins that make the body. The remaining 98% used to be considered junk DNA, but they're actually epigenetic. They activate epigenetic activity and modulate the expression of genes to maintain homeostasis or self-regulation or healing at a very fundamental level. All these organs, tissues, cells are acting in a unified manner through what can only be called entanglement or non-local correlation. Non-local correlation is non-local. It occurs outside of your space and time. So your body is right now being regulated by consciousness, which is non-local and appearing as this and changing all the time. It's not a noun, it's a verb, and you know it and I know it only as a perceptual activity. So the perceptual activity is modified form of consciousness. Now, if you understand this totally and completely, then we realize that there's a new way of actually sculpting the body and reinventing the body. And that new ways that when we go to the most fundamental level, which we just spoke about, not atoms and particles, but wavicles, which are probability waves in a non-local domain. And that non-local domain is pure consciousness, which is pure creativity and correlation, making conscious choices and actually cultivating metacognition. Metacognition is being present to experience as it happens. And that is all experience, perceptual experience, cognitive experience, and the motor experiences that we choose. And of course, even thoughts and feelings and imagination. Because why? Because they're all made of the same non-stuff. Sensations and sense perceptions are non-stuff, modified forms of pure non-stuff, which is pure consciousness, which is formless. So the body is made of consciousness, but so are thoughts, so are feelings, so is imagination, so is creativity, so is insight, so is intuition, so is higher consciousness. Everything that you can see, perceive, cognize, know, imagine is modified consciousness, including the thought, the interpretation of the experience, symbolically. So now, if you resolve to have the following 4 intentions: joyful, energetic body, loving, compassionate heart, clear, reflective, alert mind, and lightness of being. And if you understand that this is all a byproduct of pure consciousness, then the key is transcending to pure consciousness. And those 3 things, actually everything that's in yoga, and that is everything: social and emotional intelligence, yoga asana, cultivating awareness of the body, pranayama, using breath to control the autonomic nervous system, pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses, and interoceptive processes and understanding how we control them, and then dharana, focused intention and attention. And that's joyful, energetic body, loving, compassionate heart, clear mind, lightness of being, and then transcendence. This is the key to reinventing your body, resurrecting your soul, and creating a new experience of reality, new experience, upgrading the illusion, and much, much more. Life is here to be enjoyed. And if joy is not an experience of life, then life is wasted. Joy is the ultimate measure of success and also of well-being. Therefore, here's cheers to your journey to self, the experience of joy.